Hey guys, Stealth here. In this video, which I'm going to be calling the War Room, I'm going to be answering your questions. Quite a few of you sent me questions on all sorts of different topics, so I'm going to try and keep these videos contained to a half hour where I try to answer as many of those questions as possible. In the meanwhile, you are looking at a 10v10 on Plungeon Valley, which is not a usual map for a 10v10, but it was a low point income tactical game and I was providing air support with my deck. So we're going to be zooming over this battlefield a little bit and seeing what is going on here. Anyway, let's go on with the questions. Would you like a wargame World War II style? I mean, a game made by Eugen with the same engine as Wargame but set during and before World War II. If so, what nations do you think would be necessary? I am more of a Cold War / modern kind of guy. And I do have some knowledge of, excuse me, I do have some knowledge of the units from World War II or the types of vehicles used. But I am much more up to speed on the modern / Cold War type of activities. So would I like a World War II theme? Possibly. But I probably wouldn't be as good in it as I would be in Red Dragon. Next up, do you think they should increase the general NATO deck points from 50 to 55 or back to 60? Definitely not back to 60. 60 was rather luxurious, and with 60 points you could get all the best units from the NATO deck, which made it quite an overpowered situation. You could get very powerful decks. So I think it's a good thing that we now have, I believe, 50 points for NATO decks. And I rarely, if ever, use NATO decks. The one time that I want to use those is when I have a very specialized role in mind. For example, a general NATO motorized deck. I found those to be performing quite well, but only in 10v10. For example, I would take a large force of highly trained motorized troops into the middle at Asgard, where you can do all sorts of damage with very specific types of infantry. And you can make combinations of, say, SAS, not the Royal Marines, but you can bring in Delta Force, you can bring in some napalm troops, you can bring in the napalm tank. Stuff that you normally wouldn't be able to combine is now open, so that's when I think it would be an interesting combination, but otherwise I really wouldn't recommend this deck. What are your future plans for the channel? Yeah, I'm not too sure yet, really. It depends on how much I feel like playing, how much time I have. Of course, that's always an important issue. And for me, it's all about playing what I like as well as what you guys like to see. I know that I should first be liking what I'm playing and then I can make fun videos about it. But I do want to make videos that you guys want to see. So active aggression, it was an interesting experiment, but that's all that it was. I won't be going back to active aggression, probably, unless something major happens to that game, but I don't really expect that. Here is my Thunderbolt. Sorry, that's not a Thunderbolt. I had a Thunderbolt in the area at this stage. Yeah, here it is. We're gonna take a look at that. Where or what did you study? Yes, I did study. I did go to law school, and it was in a place called Utrecht in the Netherlands. And I also have my own business now, completely unrelated to law. I am a body language coach. And in case you never heard of that, I wouldn't blame you. Neither did I for up to about 2 years ago. It means that I help people, and especially sales professionals and entrepreneurs, with their body language. So you can think about people in the sales profession who either want to be able to better read the body language of the people in front of them, or who want to come across as more powerful, more professional. And that's where I come in. That's where I help. I came in from a background of online marketing, and that's pretty much how I also got into the YouTubing thing. But over the last couple of months, over the last few years, I've been transitioning into the body language. And it took me quite a while to get that set up and get that going. So that's why there haven't been as many videos as, say, up to a year ago. What do you look like? That's hard to describe. I would like to be a little taller. I'm only 176, so I suppose that's 5'5". I think you would call it in feet and inches. A war game that took place during present times World War III would be cool. Yeah, but I think we already have that with this war game. I think there are already quite a few units that would still be in a more modern version, because they are still in use. I mean, take the K-52, of course. This is, of course, a very modern helicopter from 1995. It's still in use, as far as I know. So I think that a modern war game would look a bit different, and we would be more and more going towards experimental or units which are not quite developed yet. Like, for example, the new prototypes that are coming out. And also think Arma 3 units. For example, the Shadowhawk. That's something that I would expect to find in a situation like that. Let's see. Do you hope for a East German focused campaign in either the next wargame or Red Dragon? I think the NVA generally needs more presence in video games, as they're awesome. Well, East German decks I really like, and I was a bit sad that those things weren't in the game, or at least not in the campaign. But the same goes for some of the Western units that I would like to have used, especially with the DLC 3 that came out for this game. I would have liked to have used, for example, the STRV-121 or the automatic. If you can use those in campaigns, you have a major weapon system available. Of course, I do recognize that for the sake of that campaign, the Swedes probably had nothing to do or nothing to expect from that theater of war. So I understand why they decided not to put those forces into the campaigns. Anyway, the question: do I hope for an East German focused campaign? It's definitely not going to be coming in Red Dragon. I think that Red Dragon is pretty much fully developed. I know they are still working on some maps for the game. They polled in July asking which maps from previous war games we as the players would like to see. I'm not really following that line of conversation with the devs, but I know that they are working on it, or at least that's my hope. And I hope that those things will come out soon, because they will at least give us some new terrain to focus on and to work with. And for the next wargame, who knows? Who knows? I think they are developing a new wargame, or at least so I've been told by a few of you guys. It's apparently in a build board for or in active aggression. That's where supposedly one of Wargame 4 teasers was released. Not exactly sure how and what, but we'll see. But considering they just released Active Aggression, I think that another wargame title is going to be at least, say, 2 years. But hey, we got plenty of good games coming out soon. I mean, I'm looking forward to Fallout 4, the new XCOM series, other games that are coming out. Just Cause 3. I don't have it pre-ordered yet, but I think that's going to be a fun game. I had a lot of fun with Just Cause 2, just because how silly it is. There's so much crazy shit you can do, and it's, I suppose you could say, it's a sort of opposite to Wargame. Because this game can be so incredibly serious, and Just Cause and Fallout series are a lot less so. They're a lot more casual or relaxed, I suppose you could say. And no, I didn't call Fallout 4 casual gaming, don't worry. I know it's a serious game. Anyway, how are you doing? I know you've been busy with work, but I really missed Stealth 17 Wargame vids. Yeah, I have been quite busy, as I mentioned. I'm doing quite okay. I had to focus on my body language stuff, my body language business to get some income. Because while YouTube is very, very fun to do, it is not very profitable, let's put it that way. It's hard to really get an income out of it. But then again, I only have 3,000 subscribers. And I suppose I could say only 3,000. It's about 3,000 more than I had expected, really. So thank you guys again for subscribing. Proud Goose asks, if you had one superpower, what would it be and why? No, flight, invisibility, invincibility, everyone chooses them. That's a good question, really. What superpower would I like to have? I suppose that invincibility and invisibility are indeed the main go-tos. They are easy, safe choices. Flight, again, I think that we can already fly or fly soon enough. So with jetpacks and the aqua jetpacks, stuff like that, we can already do quite a lot in that area. So flight is not really that interesting to me. Other stuff like, let's say, invisibility. Again, I think that's coming. Not anytime soon, but I know they are working on nanosuits and all sorts of stealth technology, so we can get that soon enough with whatever application you would like it to be. So, I'm not really sure. I think reading minds would be fun, because you'd have a major advantage over anyone that you meet, and you might be able to much better serve them from a business point of view. And of course in Wargame it would give you all sorts of advantages. So I think reading minds would be an interesting one. And I'm not going to say I already can do that, because I can't, but what I can do is read body language, and that does tell you a ton of stuff about the other person, so long as you can see them. I mean, in Wargame it's useless. Next up, what do you think of the eventuality of a Wargame 4? I already briefly discussed that. I think that it will be coming, I just don't know when. And I think that it will, if they adapt the same sort of, well, I suppose you could say engine or gameplay style that they have with ALB, Red Dragon, and Wargame E&E in the beginning. I think that they have a good formula on their hands. And I understand that that studio wanted to try something else. They wanted to try their hand with active aggression. I'm not going to say they failed, but Wargame is definitely their expertise. I mean, this game just looks great, it plays great, and I have sunk well over 800 hours into this game. So it is absolutely worth my money. What country do you live in? I live in the Netherlands, and if you're unfamiliar with it, it's that tiny country in the middle of Europe, or I suppose you could say Western Europe, depending on how you want to look at Europe. Puts me in Central European time, so I'm 1 hour ahead of GMT, or Greenwich Mean Time. Tell about your main occupation. Already went over that. What is your favorite game genre besides strategy game? I suppose you could say first-person RPGs. Currently, I've picked up Fallout New Vegas again, pretty much awaiting the release of the new Fallout game. And of course, since it is a Bethesda game, you pretty much mod it until it breaks. And that's what I've been doing. So, installing mod after mod after mod, trying to create experiences that I haven't had in that game yet. Other games, I like to play Kerbal Space Program. That is well, I suppose it's a space game genre. I used to be very heavily into the X series from Egosoft, so X2, X3, X3 Reunion. I think I spent more time playing those games during college than actually going to college. So that's how much of an influence those have been for me. For someone who never played the game, are there any tutorials or resources you would recommend? Yeah, my own. No, I know that's a bit silly, but my own guides. I'm familiar with Raven the Führer, who also makes quite a few good tutorials. Personally, I have never really needed tutorials for this game, but I think that with my tutorials you have a pretty good overview of the game. And the rest comes from just doing it, just watching gameplay, just reviewing your own games, seeing exactly where you went wrong, what unit could have been better placed, why they managed to see that recon, stuff like that will really help you improve your game. Another question from Schmidt R32. Just a few simple things. What nationality are you? I am Dutch, as I mentioned. I'm from Australia. I'm part German. Favorite wargame? Game out of 3 and honest thoughts. Let's see. Is there actually a question in there? No, I think there's not really a question there. What made you come back and continue playing wargames since you previously stated you were 100% done with the game? Bit weird, really. A few weeks ago there was a very narrow avoidance of war with North and South Korea. And I went like, oh right, I got the second Korean War and I can replay that. Because I pretty much wanted to see, of course not how a war is going to play out, because I don't think that that's realistic. But I just wanted to play that campaign again, so I pretty much blasted through that thing in one day. I think I managed to complete it in 10 turns instead of 12 or 13. I even considered doing another campaign video series about that, but let me know if you want to see that, because it might be a lot of the same stuff, or on the other hand I might be more aggressive. So if you want me to do another series like that, say revisited the Second Korean War or any other campaign, let me know. And I have some more video material for you guys to make. So pretty much that's what made me come back to Wargame. And over the last few months, even although I hadn't been doing that many videos, I still noticed that my Wargame videos were by far the most popular videos that I have. World of Warships, some of those videos have gotten looked at, but not as much as as Wargame. So I decided to, with all of your requests for Wargame, to do another few Wargame vids, and that's how I'm getting back into it. And I gotta say, I really enjoy it. So expect more content for the coming few weeks, expect more stuff, expect more deck reviews, so long as you keep sending in your decks, that is, of course. And possibly with, say, the release of Just Cause or Fallout, although Fallout I don't really think would make for a good video game series, because it's hard to create or recreate what I'm doing there, much less so than in Wargame. And I suppose you could say tutorials is my strong suit, or gameplay footage where you can actually get some instructional stuff, or where you can learn stuff from. That's really the kind of videos that I like making. But XCOM 2 might be an interesting series to cover, so let me know if that's something that you would like to see. I think I covered all of the questions that you guys submitted to my Q&A. If there are any more, and if you'd like me to do another series, please let me know. Or another war room vid like this one. Please let me know and submit your questions to the comments down below. And I'll see if I can do another video for you next week. I think that's it. There's not that much more to talk about. Video's about 20 minutes now. I can't watch the rest of the game, but it's going to take 30 minutes. Let's just say that I won the game with the rest of my teammates here. Anyway, I hope you liked this video. I hope you liked my answers. If you have any more questions, if you have any comments on it, please let me know in the comments, because it's the first time I'm doing this. I'm probably pretty terrible at it, since I've never done it. So let me know what you think, if you'd like me to do something like this again, and if you just liked watching it, hit like and I'll know enough. Thank you guys so much for being subscribers, for watching my videos, and don't forget to join my stream tonight. I'll be guest streaming / streaming with the follow. I found out that I can also immediately stream my game to YouTube itself, so that's what I'm going to be doing, as follow is going to stream it to Twitch, and link to that is in the description down below. Again, thanks for watching. Hope to see you tonight, and otherwise, I'll see you on the battlefield.